Betrayal. Blood. Revenge. The bloodline family tree is about to be burned to the ground, and it's all because of one coward who turned his back on family when it mattered most. Hikuleo, or should I say Tala Tonga, you thought you could screw over Jacob Fatu at Night of Champions 2025 and walk away without consequences. You thought nobody would stand up for the Samoan werewolf when Solo Sikoa's puppet strings controlled your every move. Wrong. Dead wrong. Because now you've awakened a sleeping giant that's been waiting in the shadows, and his name is Zilla Fatu. And when Zilla speaks, the entire wrestling world better listen, because what he just said about you, Hikuleo, is going to make your blood run cold and your knees shake with fear. Let me paint you the picture of the most disgusting, cowardly, backstabbing betrayal in recent WWE history. Night of Champions 2025 was supposed to be Jacob Fatu's crowning moment, the night the Samoan werewolf would finally capture the United States Championship and prove once and for all that he's not just Roman Reigns' enforcer, but a championship-caliber superstar in his own right. Jacob had that match won. He had his opponent down, the crowd was on their feet, and glory was literally 3 seconds away. But then, Hikuleo decided to reveal his true colors. This man who Jacob trusted, who Jacob considered family, who Jacob had fought beside in countless battles, chose that moment to turn his back on everything the bloodline was supposed to represent. The steel chair shot to Jacob's back wasn't just a betrayal, it was a declaration of war. It was Hikuleo saying that Solo Sikoa's twisted version of the bloodline was more important than family loyalty, more important than honor, more important than the very blood that runs through their veins. And Roman Reigns? The original tribal chief wasn't just disappointed, he was furious. You could see the rage building in his eyes as he watched his most trusted ally get screwed over by someone who was supposed to be family. But if you thought this betrayal would go unanswered, if you thought Jacob Fatu would just have to swallow this humiliation and move on, then you don't know the Fatu family. Because Zilla Fatu, Jacob's blood, his family, his brother in every sense that matters, has just issued a warning that's going to send shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. Hikuleo, you coward. You think you can put your hands on my blood and walk away? You think Solo Sikoa's protection is going to save you from what's coming? You made the biggest mistake of your pathetic career when you decided to betray Jacob Fatu. Those weren't just words, those were a promise. A promise that justice is coming, that payback is inevitable, and that Hikuleo's actions are going to have consequences that he never saw coming. But here's what makes this even more explosive, Zilla isn't just some angry family member making empty threats. This is a man who has been training for years, preparing for his moment to step into the spotlight, and Hikuleo's betrayal might have just given him the perfect opportunity to make his WWE debut in the most impactful way possible. You have to understand what's really at stake here. This isn't just about one championship match or one moment of betrayal, this is about the very soul of the bloodline legacy. For generations, the Anoa'i family has built their reputation on loyalty, honor, and standing up for family no matter what the cost. But Solo Sikoa's version of the bloodline has poisoned that legacy. He's turned family members against each other, he's used manipulation and fear instead of respect and honor, and he's created an environment where betrayal is not just accepted but rewarded. Hikuleo's betrayal of Jacob Fatu isn't just a betrayal of one man, it's a betrayal of everything the bloodline was supposed to represent. It's a slap in the face to every Anoa'i who came before, every sacrifice that was made to build this legacy, and every fan who believed in what the bloodline stood for. And Zilla Fatu? He's not going to let that stand. He's not going to let Hikuleo and Solo Sikoa destroy the family name without a fight. He's going to make sure that honor is restored, that justice is served, and that the true meaning of the bloodline is remembered. But let's talk about the specific threat that Zilla made, because this wasn't just generic trash talk, this was a detailed promise of destruction that should terrify Hikuleo to his core. You want to play games with family? You want to cost my brother his moment of glory? Then you better be ready for the consequences. Because I'm coming for you, Hikuleo, and when I get my hands on you, you're going to wish you never heard the name Fatu. The intensity in Zilla's voice, the fire in his eyes, the way his hands were shaking with rage, this wasn't someone making empty threats for attention. This was someone who has been pushed beyond his breaking point, someone who has watched his family be disrespected for the last time. And here's the kicker, Zilla didn't just threaten Hikuleo. He also had words for Solo Sikoa, the puppet master pulling the strings behind this entire mess. Solo, you think you're the head of the table? You think you can manipulate our family and turn us against each other? You're about to learn that there are some members of this family who won't be controlled, who won't be intimidated, and who won't let your poison spread any further. Now here's where things get really interesting from a business perspective. Zilla Fatu has been training and preparing for a WWE debut for months, and this family feud might be the perfect storyline to bring him onto the main roster. Think about it, what better way to introduce a new superstar than to have him seeking revenge for a family betrayal? What better motivation for a debut than protecting the honor of the bloodline legacy? What better opponent for a first feud than the man who betrayed his family? WWE Creative has to be salivating at the storytelling possibilities here. You've got family honor, betrayal, revenge, legacy, and the introduction of a new talent who's already emotionally invested in the storyline. This isn't just another random debut, this is a debut with purpose, with meaning, with built-in heat and fan investment. And the timing couldn't be more perfect. With the Bloodline storyline dominating WWE programming, with Roman Reigns back in the mix, and with Solo Sikoa's faction creating chaos throughout the roster, adding Zilla Fatu to the equation would create even more compelling television. Let's not forget about Roman Reigns in all of this. The original tribal chief has been working to restore the true meaning of the bloodline, and Jacob Fatu has been his most trusted ally in that mission. When Hikuleo betrayed Jacob, he didn't just betray one man, he betrayed Roman's entire vision for what the bloodline should be. And you know Roman doesn't forget, and he doesn't forgive. He's been building his case against Solo Sikoa's faction, gathering allies, and preparing for war. Having Zilla Fatu join that fight would give Roman another powerful weapon in his arsenal, another family member who understands what the bloodline truly represents. But here's what makes this even more compelling, Roman knows that sometimes you have to let family handle family business. He might step back and let Zilla get his revenge on Hikuleo, knowing that some scores are too personal for outside interference. The dynamic between Roman, Jacob, and Zilla could create some of the most compelling television WWE has produced in years. 3 generations of the Anoa'i family, united in their mission to restore honor and destroy Solo Sikoa's corrupt version of the bloodline. But let's be real about what Solo Sikoa has created here. This isn't just about one bad decision or one moment of poor judgment, Solo has systematically destroyed the bloodline from within. He's turned family members against each other, he's rewarded betrayal over loyalty, and he's created an environment where honor means nothing. Hikuleo's betrayal of Jacob Fatu is just the latest example of Solo's toxic influence. He's convinced people that his version of the bloodline is the only version that matters, that traditional family values are outdated, and that winning at any cost is more important than maintaining honor. And now Zilla Fatu is ready to expose Solo for what he really is, a pretender who's been living off the reputation that better men built, a manipulator who uses family connections for personal gain, and a coward who hides behind other people's betrayals instead of handling his own business. When Zilla gets his hands on Solo, it's going to be more than just a wrestling match, it's going to be a reckoning for every family member Solo has corrupted, every tradition he's destroyed, and every moment he's dishonored the bloodline name. So what happens next? Where does this explosive situation lead? Let me give you my predictions based on everything we've seen and everything we know about how WWE handles these kinds of family feuds. First, Zilla Fatu is absolutely going to get his shot at Hikuleo. Whether it's at the next pay-per-view, on Monday Night Raw, or in some special attraction match, this confrontation is going to happen. The heat is too real, the story is too compelling, and the fan interest is too high for WWE to ignore. Second, this is going to be Zilla's WWE debut. There's no way they pass up the opportunity to introduce him as the Avenger seeking justice for his family's honor. The built-in storyline, the emotional investment, and the star power potential make this a no-brainer. Third, this is going to escalate beyond just Zilla versus Hikuleo. Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, and potentially other family members are going to get drawn into this conflict. We're looking at a full-scale family war that could dominate WWE programming for months. But here's the ultimate question that's going to determine how this all plays out: is Hikuleo man enough to face the consequences of his betrayal? Is he going to accept Zilla's challenge and fight for his actions, or is he going to hide behind Solo Sikoa's protection and prove that he's nothing but a coward? Because let's be honest, Hikuleo betrayed Jacob Fatu in the most cowardly way possible. He waited until Jacob was vulnerable, he attacked from behind, and he cost Jacob his moment of glory. Those are the actions of someone who knows they can't win in a fair fight, someone who's afraid of the consequences of their actions. But Zilla Fatu isn't going to let him hide. He's going to keep applying pressure, keep making threats, and keep demanding justice until Hikuleo has no choice but to face the music. And when that confrontation happens, it's going to be explosive. The question isn't whether Hikuleo will eventually have to face Zilla, the question is whether he'll have anything left when Zilla is done with him. Because this isn't just about winning a match or settling a score, this is about restoring honor to the bloodline name and making sure that betrayal has consequences. So let me leave you with this final thought, because this is what makes Zilla Fatu's warning so powerful and so terrifying for Hikuleo and Solo Sikoa. This isn't just another wrestling storyline or another manufactured conflict, this is real family business with real consequences. When Zilla said, "You'll pay for what you did to my blood," he wasn't just cutting a promo, he was making a promise. A promise that justice is coming, that honor will be restored, and that the true meaning of the bloodline will be remembered. Hikuleo thought he could betray Jacob Fatu and walk away without consequences. He thought Solo Sikoa's protection would be enough to shield him from the fallout. He thought wrong. Because now he's awakened a force that won't be stopped, won't be reasoned with, and won't be satisfied until justice is served. Zilla Fatu is coming, and hell is coming with him. The only question left is this: when Zilla finally gets his hands on Hikuleo, will there be anything left of the man who betrayed his family? Or will Hikuleo's betrayal be the last mistake he ever makes? What do you think is going to happen when Zilla finally confronts Hikuleo? Do you think WWE will use this as Zilla's debut storyline? And how do you think Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline will factor into this explosive family feud? Drop your predictions in the comments below, I want to know what you think is going to happen. And if you're as fired up about this family drama as I am, smash that like button and subscribe for more explosive WWE coverage. Because this story is just getting started, and you don't want to miss what happens next. The bloodline civil war is about to reach a whole new level of intensity, and Zilla Fatu just lit the fuse that's going to blow everything wide open. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.